Now, another of the challenges first brought up by Nicola in the beginning was that of data immensity. And Giuseppe will be giving us a brief presentation of how we will be thinking about that in this network.
Okay. As the Norbert talk this morning pointed out, we have to deal with a lot of data. Topics, experiments, pools, assessment, statistics, derived data, and so on. And the promise goal is to increase the quantity of this data. So there is a problem. What are the challenges in dealing with such a large amount of data? Not the storage. The technology of databases is mature enough to store more or less everything. Not the retrieval. You can ask a query and come back very quickly with the answer. An SQL query is answered in a few milliseconds. It's not that the problem. The problem is understanding the data, not be overwhelmed by the data. Is to discover patterns, insights, to understand what there is in the data, make decisions, and last but not least, to share the result you got with other people. This is true for the Promise project, but also in general for information retrieval communities. This problem is not new. A lot of people in different situations experiment the same problem. Disaster management, traffic control, they have to deal with a lot of data, looking for hidden information to make a decision very quickly. And engineers, analysts are fighting with this problem. And of course, there are already available solutions around. Something that is typically automatic, a little bit old-fashioned. We can talk about data mining, statistics, that manage the numbers, bringing out some insights. And the other way around, there is a technique that involves the end user. A classical example is information visualization. The user deals with the visual representation of the data. Even Norbert this morning used some visualization to bring you some ideas about the data. But the point is that no one of them is strong enough to deal with the very complex databases. And there is the emerging field of visual analytics that try to combine these approaches. Next, please. This is the main idea. You have the data, and you have a visualization engine and a data mining engine. You can start analyzing the data, figure out something about the data, visualize the result. The user can look to the result, get some insight, bring it again to the data, start again the analysis, and so on, in a cyclic way. This is the idea. So combining the automatic power of computer with the human brain ability of visual analysis. Next, please. Because this topic is new for this community, I brought here a very simple example that is, in some sense, quite close to the information retrieval world. Assume that you have the goal to compare the Jack London and Mark Twain books visually. How is it possible? You cannot look at the text. This is a possible visual analytics approach. You can split the book in several chunks, paragraph, page, whatever. And you can take a measure on this paragraph, on these chunks. For instance, the length of a sentence, the kind of word that the author is using, and so on. And after that, you can convert this measure in some kind of visualization. You are going to use color in this example. And after that, you can visualize it. Next, please. Okay, this is an example. Here we are measuring in the first visualization the length of the sentences. Brown means very short sentences, blue means very long sentences. And we can see quickly that the Jack London books, this one, against this about Mark Twain, typically use shorter sentences. Mark Twain uses longer sentences. But here there is a clear exception. This book is different from the others. So you discovered something. You can take this book, you can go inside, start again the analysis, maybe not at page level, but at sentence level, to get what there is behind. Here we have a little bit more complex example. We are trying to measure the richness of the vocabulary, counting the words that appear only once. And we can see that blue means very rich vocabulary, and brown means very poor vocabulary. We can see that here there is, again, a big exception. Mark Twain uses typically a very rich vocabulary, but in this book. Why? You can go inside again. This is the idea. You got something, you cycle again in this loop. Okay, next, please. There is something. Okay. So my presentation is about the explicit idea of trying to incorporate visual analytics within the information retrieval world. This is something that the European Commission acknowledged as important, explicitly. So we are going to study specific algorithms, visualization, and mechanisms for sharing, collaboration, especially for the information retrieval world, for the data that you are going to manage. The last one. And while Promising is starting, the WizMaster project is ending. A 3-year project, European project, about spreading the visual analytics idea across the Europe. So we are ready, I am involved in this project, and we are ready to bring in Promise in this community the results of the previous project about visual analytics.